everyone, in this video I want to argue about a problem that is currently endless. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Adeani Suryani, study program Business Administration at the Polytechnic State of Padang. At this time, I want to tell about the problem that until now have not met the end point. Yes, right, COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in various crises that have hurt the country of Indonesia and even the world. The 2020 crisis triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic is ended not as severe as the 1997/19 and 1998 crisis in the term of falling economic growth of increasing poverty rates, but is not exacerbated in Professor Hall Hills in a book entitled Economic Dimension of COVID-19 in Indonesia, about which was later published by the organized by the conference, does not hesitate to call the COVID-19 pandemic a crisis one of the worst crises that Indonesia has experienced during its 17 years of independence. Okay, next. Our gross domestic product (GDP) contract of 2.7% in 2020, in certainly not much the percent constant contraction in the 19 and 97/19 and 1998 crisis. But this is the first time we have experienced a recession in more than 2 decades. This negative economic growth has the potential not only to make people who are already working unemployed, but also reduce their opportunity for new works that enters the labor market. Every year, our workforce increased by 1.7%, and this is not interrupted by the COVID-19. If not followed by a full and immediately economic recovery, this will have serious socio-economic consequences. Okay, next. In our memory, the beginning of the pandemic, various analyses predict that the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and our economy will not be solved. Adhering to the history that economic crises triggered by natural disaster usually recover quickly, many predict that Indonesia economic growth will not be negative in 2020. Throughout 2020, this projection will continue to be revised, with numbering getting worse and worse. It seems that Muhammad Khatib Basri jokes that economic projection in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic seem like economy who are choking the COVID-19 pandemic is full of certainly a crisis like no other. Okay, next. Various analysis until the end of 2020, such as those written in the book Economic Dimension of COVID-19 in Indonesia, really unlimited data, socioeconomic that was surveyed by the Central Statistics Agency was conducted at the end of 2020 is only available for a result will be published in early 2020. Okay, next. The data, among others, reveal the following. The percentage of poor people in September 2020 was recorded at 10.2% and increased that almost 1% compared to the previous years. This is the equivalent of 2017, 3 years earlier. This means that additional social assistance won more than 150 trillion rupiah, which of course help reduce the impact of more severe poverty, is not enough to prevent the increase in poverty rates. Okay, next. This data, among other, reveals the following. The percentage of poor people in September 2020 was recorded at 10.2%, an increase is almost 1% compared to the previous years. This is equivalent of 2017, 3 years earlier. This means the additional social assistance one more of than 150 trillion rupiah, which of course help reduce the impact of more severe poverty, is not enough to prevent the increase in poverty rates. Okay, next. The level of inequality will also increase in 2020, especially in urban areas, will not have big at first glance when the national Kidney confidence increased from 0,300 to 0,305. This recovered by improving over the past few years and brought the inequality level back to 2018. Next, what is more worrying is the impact of the crisis on the quality of human capital or malnutrition rates. For example, what's recorded? They have increased from 7.7% in 2019 to 8.6% in 2020. This is equivalent to the malnutrition rates in 2016 to 2017, a setback of almost 4 years. Of course, the crisis is not over. A true challenge in economic recovery is not only to get our economic growth back to its pre-crisis track, but also to ensure those who at least return to the professional position are better. We don't expect a K-shaped recovery, then those who are more severely affected will recover more slowly, thus making that post-COVID-19 economy even more lame. For this, in navigating this perfect storm, we need not only a dexterous master, but also one who has fertility.